Welcome to the Bringing Intimacy Back show, where intimacy is real. If you desire to intimately connect with yourself, your significant other, children, family, friends, community, and higher power, this show is for you. We explore intimate topics, inspiring life stories, spirituality, and insightful tips on strengthening relationships. The show is hosted by Dr. April and her co-host, Coach K. Let's get this episode of the Bringing Intimacy Back show started. We share with you today the secret power to intimacy to create a life you love or love the life you create. Now, here's your host, Dr. April, and co-host, Coach K.
Welcome to the Bringing Intimacy Back show, where intimacy is real. Welcome, Coach K. How are you doing?
I am doing amazing. And how about yourself? Because you're in an amazing place right now.
Yes, I am in Costa Rica. I just finished doing one of my intimacy retreats, and I just love the topic that we're talking about because it's kind of what we've been doing. Yes, I do an intimacy retreat a few times here in Costa Rica at a place called the Peace Retreat Center, where they do a lot of yoga, and it's yoga with the mind. And then I bring couples and we talk about relationships and work on their issues. So this whole topic that we're talking about today, I'm looking forward to hear.
I love that you guys are doing that yoga, because I actually do a couples mindfulness yoga weekly here. So I know the strength of that nonverbal connection, that especially in such a beautiful place. Oh my gracious, I can only imagine all the kind of goodness that's going on there. And especially, it ties into our guest and topic today.
Yes. Well, tell us about our guest today.
I'm super excited about, and before we do that, I just want to quickly just remind everybody about our charity of the month. Because, with Bringing Intimacy Back being a nonprofit itself, having a charity of the month is always important. And that is School on Wheels. Wheels never wavered and enhance educational opportunities for children who are experiencing homelessness from kindergarten through 12th grade. So their goal is to shrink the gaps in their learning and provide them with the highest level of education possible. Over the past 28 years, the School on Wheels has served more than 50,000 students. So I'm super excited about that. So if you want to know more about our charity of the month, go to schoolsonwheels.org. So now I want to get into our guest for today, who is Megan Warren. Just a little bit of background on who we're about to experience. Megan Warren is a transformational health and life coach who empowers individuals to live their most healthy and energetic lives through a mission-focused approach that maximizes impact and minimizes burnout. I love that. Megan's career began in education, where she spent 9 years in one of the largest school districts in Texas. And Texas is a big place. She started as a teacher before being promoted to department chair and head mentor to new teachers. And she ultimately landed a coveted instructional coach position, where she coached and mentored faculty members. She had her dream job. But throughout this rapid ascent, Megan experienced the early warning signs of burnout and exhaustion caused by stress. When it was time to sign her employment contract for the 9th year, those early warning signs had turned into her check engine immediately. She began to self-assess and realize her body was screaming for her to slow down and make self-care a priority. Now, that's just a little bit about who we have today. So when we come back, we're definitely going to dive a little bit further into and find out exactly who Megan Warren is, that's going to be talking to us about the mind-body connection. So we'll be right back.
Are you in a relationship with someone that you see often, but you feel so disconnected with them? Bringing Intimacy Back can help you bring the intimacy back to your relationship. BIB is dedicated to inspire, enlighten, and encourage intimate connections. Live shows, weekly guest speakers with over 29,000 downloads, We can help promote your products and services, grow your business and clientele with BIB. Want to become part of the BIB family? You can now sponsor with us.
Welcome back to the Bringing Intimacy Show, where intimacy is real. How are you doing, Megan?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here and talk to you
Yes.
and your audience.
Yes, you are just phenomenal in what you do, and I love your passion about the mind, body, and connection.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that we ask all our guests is the show is about intimacy. And so I would love to know, what is your definition
Us
of
about
intimacy?
mind-body connection. So we'll be right back here.
Yeah. So I would love to know, what is your
Ooh.
definition
Us
of
about
intimacy?
mind. My apologies about that. When we're in technology and we're live, anything can happen. So let us hear your definition of what is intimacy to you?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Intimacy to me, this is a deep question, I feel like. So I can't remember who exactly I've heard this from, but it has always stuck with me. Intimacy, if you break the word down, into me, I see. So to me, intimacy really means, how are you connected with yourself? If you're connected with yourself, you're able to be more connected on an intimate level with others, whether that's your partner or other people in your life. And so to me, intimacy is really, it starts within yourself and how connected you are to your wants, your desires, your needs, what isn't serving you. And if you can really start to support that within yourself, you have intimacy on every other level with other people. Yeah, and which is connection in a shorter a shorter sense. Connecting to yourself and other people is what intimacy means to me.
That is beautiful. And many times for, because I was a teacher also, or in working in the school system. Yeah. And I'm not sure if you did your full 10. I can't even get it to 10. But yes, yes. Tell us about that transformation and what inspired it.
Yeah. So how did I get out of teaching into what I'm doing now?
Yes. Yeah. Because that was a transformation for you.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, and I'm going to add in another piece all about intimacy also. But really, it was the burnout. It was the burnout. I was so disconnected from my body, and my check engine light came on. I had thyroid issues. I felt stress all the time. Hard for me to get out of bed in the mornings. And so for me, I knew that I needed a shift. I knew I needed to do something else. During this time, as Coach K talked about, I thought I landed my dream job as an instructional coach. And at the very same time, I was going through a divorce. And so all of these life shifts were happening in my life. I was going through a divorce and got promoted to instructional coach. And me going through that divorce really led me on my self-care journey of, I want to learn more about the person I am. I really want to work on myself and figure out, how did this happen? Because I was blindsided by it. And so for me, going through that divorce and having the instructional coach job, knowing that that wasn't the right fit, I was there for 2 years doing that position. It gave me the courage to just start my own business, because if I were able to go through a divorce, and that was one of the hardest times in my life, I knew I could get through anything. And so really that transformation of starting to work on my own health during that time and starting to really pour into myself, looking at the beliefs I had about myself, my low self-worth at that time, building all of that up, I knew that my journey of being a teacher and a coach led me to teach and coach others with their health and their wellness and their life.
Wow.
And so I knew God had a bigger plan, that this, your plan's perfect. You were meant to go through these, this life transformation, this job, this transition, so that you can serve other people in a more powerful way. And I didn't know that at the time. and I was scared, a lot of fear, but I also had this really big faith of something greater is happening. And I don't have to see it, but it's just one step in front of the other. And so while it started with my health being in a really bad place, it moved to how can I develop higher self-worth and love for myself? Because I know once I do that, I can love others more and hopefully get married again, not go through a divorce, and help people on, really starting to help their health out in the same way.
Right. And I can definitely relate. I've been through those challenges in relationships, and it's made me more empathetic and actually to feel. And one of the things that even in this retreat here that I've been learning and relearning is your body can hold on to a lot of pain of shame or guilt. Yeah. So, and that's what you focus on, the mind and the body connection. Yeah.
Yes.
Explain that. Yes.
Yeah. So our body is a tool. This is how I like to tell people. Our body is a tool, and we are gifted with this tool, and our body is always giving us signs and signals through symptoms, through feelings.
Right.
So if we feel off, which everyone knows what that feeling feels like something just isn't right, or I don't feel well, it's like we're given these check engine light, like I said, or like this red flag, but most people don't pay attention to that. They suppress it and they push it down. And so if we're not taking care of our bodies, our vehicles that take us from A to B, our health is going to deteriorate. And so if we start to look at emotions and we look at, where are we storing the shame and this guilt in our body, we're going to feel that. And it's going to come out as reaction to other people. It's going to come out in other ways that if we were just to feel, it takes 90 seconds for us to feel an emotion and let the emotion pass through. 90 seconds. But we're not really taught how to do this.
Right. And you know what? Some people are scared to feel those 90 seconds.
That's right. Yeah. Because of past experiences of, or uncertainty. I don't know what's going to happen if I allow myself to feel it. Is more stuff going to come to the surface that I don't want to face?
Right.
So, yeah. So, our body is this vehicle, this vessel that stores these emotions. And over time, if those emotions are not felt and released, they're going to come out in physical symptoms later, which is what causes dis-ease in the body. And the body wants to be in a state of ease where it reaches alignment.
Right.
And homeostasis. And so, yeah, we all have emotions. Everyone feels, anger and sadness and shame and guilt, but it's what do we do with those emotions when we're feeling them? That's really important.
So I love that you talk a lot about the self-work that needs to happen in order to grow into it. But thinking about just when your body is holding on to whatever, is happening, and then it gives us those signs and symptoms. How does libido play into that?
Yeah. So the first thing I want to say is going back to what I said earlier about there's a lot of people, I think I said this, maybe I didn't, I was thinking about it. A lot of us are disconnected from our bodies. We're cut off from our feelings of what we feel because we're so stuck in the mind and thinking about, where our mind is and all the problems and the fears and uncertainty that it causes us to be disconnected from our bodies. And I feel like the number one thing with libido, having a strong libido, yes, and I also talk about how you're treating your body with nutrition and things like that. But are you connected to your body? Do you know what feels good? Do you know what turns you on? Do you know what you like? Are you able to fully express yourself in that way and feel safe? The body is, we want to feel safe. The brain is wired for safety and survival. And so if we don't feel safe within ourselves and we're always distracting and we're looking for ways out and we can't have that intimacy with ourselves or other people, how the heck can you have a really strong sexual connection with another person? Right? So, and part two of that is like your libido really has a lot to do with your hormones. And our hormones play such an important role if we have that strong sex drive. If we're not nourishing our bodies completely with real healthy foods, fruits and vegetables, and healthy, high quality meats like grass fed meat and wild caught fish, pasture raised chicken, if we're not eating enough throughout the day, this whole culture of like to look, to be fit and skinny, eat less, work out more. No, that will kill your libido, ladies. Like really nourishing your body, nourishing this vehicle, your vessel, exercising, moving your body. I love movement that is fun, dance, walks in nature, things like that really help to get you in tune with your body. That is very, very, very important for libido. Very important for that. That lady's like, what? So those are just two different takes. We have to be connected with our body, what we want, what we like. Can we express that? And two, how are we nourishing our body? How are we moving our body? How are we loving our bodies? We have both of those pieces. You're gonna have a stronger libido.
Yeah, I love that the movement part that you talked about. Especially with the exercise and the movements, all of that just matters. Like Dr. April was talking about the couples yoga earlier, when you can build that connection and you add touch into it. Woo. So is that kind of the holistic approach to helping with the low libido? Is the two pieces that you named?
Yeah, I would say definitely making sure that you're eating enough to support your hormones, that you're eating high quality foods. Building up testosterone is important for a high libido. And so what that looks like is less cardio, more strength training. So pull out those weights. Don't be afraid to lift weights for men and women. This is, testosterone lives in both of us. We all have estrogen, testosterone, progesterone, these hormones. And so making sure that we are building strong testosterone, eating eggs, eating oysters, grass-fed beefs, like I said. So a lot of it can come from diet and exercise. Those are two really important things. Another part of the holistic approach, in my opinion, is doing something that you love. Like are you doing the work that you're meant to be doing? Because that gives you life force.
Yes.
That builds, I just got the chills just thinking about that. If we are doing, like all of us are doing what we love to do, and we love to talk about this topic, that's creating a hormonal response in our body. We get activated, like, yes, this feels good. And we can feel that energy moving in our bodies. That increases your levels of your hormones. It balances it out. But when we're stuck in a job that is depleting us and that feels like this is out of alignment, this is not integrous with what I'm supposed to be doing, this is not my role, I've outgrown this, just as you and I did, Dr. April, with our teacher positions. We outgrew that. It was great at the time. But it's like I felt that life force being sucked out of me. Mm-hmm. And what does that do to our hormonal health? What happens in our hormones is the pathway that's going to be preferred is cortisol, which is our stress hormone. We're going to keep rising with cortisol, and it's going to decrease our progesterone, which is what we need in order to create a baby. Mm-hmm. And so it causes a whole imbalance, which then affects your libido.
Right.
So it's a very holistic approach with how are we nourishing our body? How are we, are we connected to our bodies, and are we doing the work that we're meant to be doing, and also having a really positive outlook with ourselves, our day, other people. So that's the real holistic. If we get down to the nitty gritty, the real holistic approach to what can cause the libido to be off.
Right. And I was just thinking, and if you're out there listening, if you want a question, please post it out there. But there's so many people who are just busy, just working, and they say, I don't have time. I'm going to work for this so many of years, and then I'm going to take care of my body. But in reality, we only have one body. And as someone who's older, who's hit the 50, yeah, what you do when you're in your 20s, 30s impacts what happens later on in life, and even in the sense of the mind. And it's so good to, like you were saying, with the body, is even to just breathe and take it in, and just to, learn how to slow things down and to connect. And that does, of course, help you to connect with others.
100%. Another thing that came to mind is the power of breath, just like you said. I'm going through a breathwork certification right now, ladies, and I am loving it. Oh my gosh, I'm learning so much. But even with my own sex life, like breathing while you're in action is life force. I mean, it's empowering. It feels amazing. And I think a lot of us, I mean, I'm sure y'all talk about this, but women who are afraid to really just let loose and be themselves, are they breathing?
No.
Well, they're probably, when is this going to be over? The breath is it's amazing, and it changes the whole biochemistry of your body.
Exactly.
If we're improperly breathing.
Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking, Megan, that's in with sex, but that's also if you're working a job that you hate, when is this going to be over? You're not breathing. You're in a relationship that you dislike, or friends, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, the dysfunction.
Absolutely. I'm thinking back to my teacher years, and I was just walking around on eggshells. I probably held my breath more than what I could count.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Yeah.
I know outside of just not working anymore, I don't hold my breath. So I the freedom, it is a big difference. You were about to say something, Dr. April.
No, I was curious. I know that in all your work, you have a variety of things that you do. And I love some of your connections and things. And so what is your Mind Body Accelerator group program about?
Yeah, so I'm launching that now, and it's starting the week after Labor Day. This is a 6-week program, and it's great for the person who is living a healthy lifestyle, but they feel like something's off. They want to do more mindset work. They want to understand how to love their body more. They want to deepen that connection with their body, have a healthier relationship with their body. I'm going to go over a lot of breathing exercises in that program, a lot of stress reduction. So how to, I feel like, and I'm guilty of this too in my past, work on your stress management. Come on, work on but not everyone knows how to do that. We can say it until we're blue in the face, right? Work on your stress management. And it's like, well, what do I do? Meditate, go on a walk. I mean, there's more to it. And so this Mind Body Accelerator is for that person who wants to know the very, very foundations of how to support your hormone health, how to support your stress response, how to support your body with nutrition and lifestyle, and how to do the deeper work, which is the mindset work, how to get in tune with your emotions and release your emotions, and how to start to reprogram your mind for success. Yeah. So it's one of my favorite programs. I love doing it so much. And it's a great stepping stone if you're curious on how to accelerate your results with your health.
Great. You talked about nutrition. And one of the things I was wondering, what is the whole functional nutrition? What is that about?
Yeah, great question. So functional nutrition functional medicine looks at the whole body.
Okay.
And so, our traditional medicine that we have here in the Western world is more like you have a symptom, you go to the doctor for a specific thing. Like if you have a thyroid issue, you go to an endocrinologist. Functional medicine looks at the whole body, and we look at all of the hormones. We look at your digestive system, so gut health. And then piecing those pieces together. And so functional nutrition is using an approach of using food as medicine. And so how can we, food, the body's meant to heal. the body is meant, the body's amazing. It's so intelligent. It's meant to heal, but what's getting in the way of its healing process? Is it the foods that we're eating? If we go back to when, way back in the day when, we had cattle and we used to eat fruits and vegetables and we used, hunters and gatherers, that's what we're meant to eat. And today it's so much more focused on what's fast and quick and easy. And can the body read that information? No. Our body understands what's real and what's natural. And so really it's going back to the basics of how can we nourish the body with food and use food as medicine.
And being careful with the processed healthy food. Because I know, when my husband, he was going into, not eating beef and pork and meats, he would get the veggie patties. And I was like, well, do you know what's in those? And so he started to look at what was actually in them. And I was like, I can buy the quinoa, the black beans, and the cauliflower, and we can just make those at home versus whatever additives. So I think that's just something that I want to point out to some people who may say, I eat healthy. I buy these particular things who are already put together. But you really have to pay attention to the process part of it, because your body could be rejecting that, which could cause all of the things that could cause people to need to come see you.
Exactly. I love that point so much. Yeah. It's like, can you look at the label? Can you look at the ingredient label and can you name them? That's something that's really, a really good rule of thumb to look at. And I love how you got creative in the kitchen. You said, we can make this at home.
He didn't love the first round, but we did.
It'll take some tweaking, right? Add some herbs in there. Add some salt.
Good. So Megan, if people out there listening and they want to get to know you and contact you, what are the best ways?
Yeah. So you can follow me on Instagram. My handle is I am Megan Warren. And then also my email, if you're interested in doing an MBA program or you want to do one-on-one coaching, Megan@forgivingbelly.com is how you can reach me there. You can also send me a DM through Instagram. That's the only social platform I'm on.
Okay, yeah. And I'm just curious because people are like, forgiving belly. Yeah. They're curious too, yes. Where did that come from?
Oh my gosh. It started when I started my business. I was really on my healing journey of working on my gut health and also in this very, very deep healing phase of forgiveness with my divorce.
Right.
And knowing that emotions are connected to our body, feeling that, y'all know that, like that gut feeling that you feel sometimes, knowing like, okay, this emotion that I'm feeling, this fear, this uncertainty, this is doing something in my digestive tract. And so it originated, I was just really helping people a lot with their digestive health and gut health. And so that's how the name originated, Forgiving Belly, with really tying together forgiveness. Are you loving yourself with your gut health? Are you taking care of your gut? Are you taking care of your body? So that's how it originated.
Right. And many times our gut tells us things, but we don't listen. We're afraid of it. Yeah, and we pile up so much stuff and then wonder why it hurts and, doesn't help out some of the other parts that need help out, because the gut is very important. So thank you so much for even highlighting that and for the work that you do. Yes. Because it not only heals the person, but also heals the person who's connected to other people, the kids and others in the community.
We're all connected. Everything's connected. So the more you take care of yourself and stay in your lane, the more you can help others. I think that's how we're helping heal the world right now, is taking care of ourselves and leading with impact.
Right. And just one last question, because people, I know it's a question that has some people's minds sometimes, and especially women, is how important is it to take care of myself versus taking care of everybody else?
That's a great question. Oh my gosh, y'all have some really good questions. It's the most important thing, because if you're not filling your cup, if you're not filling your tank, you're going to be giving from an empty tank. So the more you can give to yourself, the more you're going to know how to give to others from a place of not being reactive. You know, if we are depleted, we might give to others and resent it. We might give to others where it's not really that helpful. So if we learn how to give to ourselves first and take care of ourselves, we're leading by example, one, but two, it's going to be more fulfilling for the other person.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Megan. You've been a blessing, and we'll be back in a moment.
Thank you.
Learn to cultivate a deeper connection with yourself and your inner spirit in order to further manifest a more fulfilling, intimate life. Find your purpose in life, develop unwavering confidence, heal your inner child, and authentically live this purpose every day. It starts with you. Couldn't be further from the truth. Intimacy is not taboo, nor should it cost a fortune. Get your copy today. It Starts With You is available on Amazon, Audible, and
Wow, that was such a powerful, what she came on and said was so powerful.
Yes, I loved every moment of it. It's so difficult for, I think, just too many people to understand the importance of taking care of home, self, you first. That concept is just so foreign. I don't know why, but so I'm so glad that was the main point that I took away from it anyway, because I'm all for self, not selfish, but I'm all for self.
Right. And it just remind me, I'm at the end of this retreat, but in the beginning of the retreat, the partners were very reactive because they were empty. They weren't taking care of themselves. You know, they kept saying, I'm just trying to please the other person. I'm just trying to please. But they didn't even know how to take care of their inner core. So definitely. I even for a long time, I had to explain to my husband, because he would always say, I just want to make you happy. And I was like, you can't make me happy. You can make me smile, laugh, but I have to make me happy, because otherwise you're going to exhaust yourself trying to do something that I'm not even doing myself. So that's something that we talked about and learned together. So I'll definitely be connecting with Miss Megan Warren for sure. And we have someone that's enjoying the show, so that's good. Yes. Thank you, Susan.
Absolutely. Well, we have some amazing shows coming up. I'm super excited about that. So on next week, August the 25th, we have Debbie Mariel with The Importance of Cultivating a Connecting Sex Life coming on. On September the 1st, we have Roseanne Kapana Hodge discussing building relationship skills in kids. And then on September 8th, I do this big grand all the time. We're going to be coming to you live together at the Sex Down South Conference. I'm super excited about that. If you don't know about the Sex Down South Conference, go to sexdownsouth.com. And if you want to go to the Sex Down South Conference, use code Coach K and get your percentage off. Okay, back down to normal. And then on September the 15th, we're going to have Teza Lord with Stay Woke. Some good shows coming up.
Yes, definitely. Yes. And so as we're ending this show, if you're out there and you're struggling and you're stressed and you feel like, oh my gosh, the world is coming to whatever, one of the things that you are hearing in this show is so important to stop, take some breath, because that helps with the body. That also slows down the mind, and realize that you are important. And let's start working with you. And Megan Warren is a great person that you can go out there and work with. Thank you guys. This has been a great show. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Bringing Intimacy Back. We hope you enjoyed it. You can also find us at bringingintimacyback.com and Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Twitter. Dr. April Brown's 5-book series, Improving Intimacy, is now on Amazon, available in Kindle, Audible, or paperback. We'll see you next Thursday live at 3:30 p.m.